Hey everyone, this is Randy from BibleBuyingGuide.com. Today I'm taking a look at the Berean Standard Bible from Bible Hub. They sent me 4 copies in exchange for an honest review, and they include 2 in bonded leather, the cowhide, and the hardcover. So, what is the Berean Standard Bible? Well, it used to be called the Berean Study Bible, and the Berean series of translations has 4 tiers. And let's go ahead and look and see what those tiers are real quick. It's easier to show you than tell you. So it has 4 tiers. And originally the Berean Study Bible was the all-around translation that was made for reading and for study. But there were also other ones that were even easier for reading or even easier for study. However, they named the standard one the Study Bible. And that was a little bit confusing because it didn't have study notes. It was made to be studied. And that was confusing. So a lot of people, including myself, complained about that a little bit. And so they understood the complaint and they changed the name to Berean Standard Bible. So it makes more sense now. So let's just take a look at what we have here. First, they are printed in USA. It's printed on 39 GSM Thin Coat Plus paper. And it is fairly opaque. But it's not printed with line matching, so it does have a little bit of show through. 9.5 point font, about a medium darkness. It does have a lot of space between the lines, so it is easy to read, especially where the lines do match. Since it's not line matched, it does show a little bit in some of the pages, but it's mostly noticeable in the poetic setting. Has around 8 to 10 words per line, which does look good on the page. Paragraph setting, double column. The paragraphs are not indented. Instead, we have an extra space between the paragraphs. Section headings include references to parallel passages. I like that a lot. Footnotes appear across the bottom of the page, and they do include some references. And they're easy to see because the verse number is in bold, and there's some space between them, so it's easy to find. Easy to find at a glance. I like that. So I do find this translation highly readable. It is similar to the NIV, the 1984 edition of the NIV. So if you're an 84 NIV fan, I think you'll like the Berean Standard Bible. I like the permissions on this one. It's easy to use. It's one reason that I'm careful with using certain Bibles because of the permissions. So this is a black letter edition. There's the black letter. Highly readable. I enjoy reading from this. We'll take a look at the covers in just a second. All of the editions have the same text block. They'll have the same liner. They don't have the same ribbons, same color. The hardcover edition has a wider ribbon and only has 1. So we have our text, double column, paragraph layout with poetic setting, and then letters are indented so they stand out from everything else. I like when they do this because you can tell at a glance that's a letter written from someone to someone. Same here. Lists are set in a list format, like this one in Revelation 7. Books start on a new page, so there's a little bit of space there for notes. The margins are not large, but there's a little bit of margin space. There's a 1/2 inch there. Not quite a 1/2 inch on the bottom. 1/2 inch on the outer margin. A little over a 1/4 inch in the inner margin. So you can't get a lot of notes there, but that does bring the text out of the gutter a little bit. Especially helps when you consider that the text block does sit flat when it's opened. It is Smythe sewn, also known as section sewn. Paper is easy enough to turn. I have no issues with that. Easy enough to grab. Lays open well. Then in the back we have a table of weights and measures. And that is it. There's the liner. All of them have the same liner. So this one is the green cloth overboard. And it has gold stamped on the spine. And then we have an elegant white. First, let's look at how the green stays open. This one stays open the best, which is why I was using it. And it has white page edges. The others have gold. So this one stays open, no trouble at all. Easy to use. The rest of them are a little bit stiffer. So the bonded leather for white, it doesn't have a lot of overhang. So you can see and actually the others are even closer than this. You can see how close it is, the text block is to the edge of the leather. And then the rest of them have 3 gold ribbons, extra long ribbons. Perimeter stitching, all of them have perimeter stitching, and then gold stamping on the spine with some raised hub indications. Not quite fully raised, but they are a little bit there. And I like the look of that bonded leather. Has a good grain. All of them are sewn. And then there's the gold paper liner. A little bit of it's a coated paper, like a vinyl coated. So it's a thick paper. And the text block is the same for all of them. And you can see these are a little bit stiffer. Now, I've not used these a lot. I've used the calfskin the most. So it'll take a little bit for these to open up fully without wanting to close on you. But they do eventually open up, and they look good. Good looking text block. I love the size of this text block. I'll show you the size. It's very similar to the Westminster Reference Bible. So 6.5 by 8 3/4 by 1 1/4. So that's about my favorite size right now. I like that size Bible. So there's the white one, and then we'll look at the burgundy. This one is also bonded leather, same grain. All the features are the same. But this one looks really good. I love the look of this one. There's how it stays open. It's the same. And then you can see how close it is to the edges. The text block is to the edge of the cover there in the corner. But yeah, that's a good one too. I like that one. Here's my favorite, the cowhide. It's called Atlantic. And this one feels better than the others. It feels like real leather. It's got the same liner. So they're all paste down liner. But the leather just has a more elegant feel to it. The grain looks natural. Then there's its spine. Same ribbons. And then here's how close it is to the edge. This one is a little closer than the others, but I think that's a short cut, actually. So I don't think that's normal. I think this one is normal. So you should expect it to look like that rather than that. That could just be because it's my review copy. I don't know. I don't know how common that would be. But this one also is a little bit stiff. So it takes a little bit more for these to stay open. Now, I have used this one a little bit more, so it will stay open a little bit better. It'll stay open in Genesis, where the others will not. Partially because it's a more flexible leather, and also partially because I have used it more. This is the one that I've read from. I like reading from this. This is an excellent Bible to read from. Excellent Bible for preaching. My only complaint would be the show-through of the paper is a little bit more than the original because it's a thinner paper. It's a little bit distracting when you're preaching. But it's not terrible. Not terrible at all. So let's compare how this looks to the original, the Berean Study Bible. So there's the size difference. And the new one is thinner because it's the thinner paper. There's the size difference. Pagination is exactly the same. So random page 658. So let's turn to 658. And it is the same. Pagination is the same. So I'll zoom in and let you see how these compare. A little bit difficult to show side by side, but we'll do what we can. So this one, the new one, is a smaller font, as you saw a second ago. Not quite as dark. That's because of it being a thinner font, because of being a smaller font. And also a little bit more show through for the new one. But as you can tell, it's not terrible. And then, if you're okay with a smaller font, I like the smaller size of the new one. Let's go ahead and weigh it. 2 pounds, around 7.5 ounces. So that is my quick look at the Berean Standard Bible. I like all of these. They do call this blue one here, they do say it's a blue-green. I don't detect any green in there. I don't really see it. It actually looks closer to black. But it is blue. It is there. But you have to look close to see it. But this one is my favorite of the group. I like that they made a white. White Bibles are rare outside of weddings. And I just think a white Bible is elegant. I'm glad they did that. I like the color of that burgundy. That looks really good. And then that cloth overboard is made well. The green is not my favorite of the colors. If you're a fan of the green, then this is a good one. My personal favorite being the cowhide, simply because it does feel better. It does feel elegant. It is a better cover. So if you can get the calfskin, this is the one that I recommend. But you can't go wrong with any of them. I like them all. Another thing, they don't come with a box. I like to store my Bibles in a box. I'm just weird that way. It's easier for me to use them if they have boxes. Bible Hub did provide these in exchange for an honest review. I will leave some links in the notes where you can make a purchase if you're interested. Also a link to the written review at Bible Buying Guide, where I'll always go into more detail. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.